People who were asked, "Sell me this pen" during a job interview, how did you answer? Not me, but a former sales manager was a douchebag who prided himself on being the greatest and the only one who knew everything about sales and tech. He didn't, hence the word former. He was trying to find a new salesperson but rejected nearly every resume I put in front of him for nitpicky bullcrap until one day he announced that he'd found the perfect candidate and was bringing him in for a formal interview, but he was pretty sure he was going to hire him on the spot. He kept going on and on about how this guy was perfect and why couldn't we find him someone like this and blah blah blah. Whatever, fine, just get it done? He bought the guy in, sat him down and said, "Sell me this pen." The guy picked up the pen, handed it back and said, "I don't play pen games." Then he walked out and we never heard or saw him again. Awesome burn. He had that guy figured out right away. Turns out the perfect salesman probably has options on where he wants to work. Good for him. The whole pen thing is so obnoxious. It's an incredibly unsophisticated power play. People who ask this question have a 1980s used car salesman grasp of sales. They are showing their ignorance while simultaneously demanding you grovel to them by executing a performance they deem sufficiently entertaining. Many years ago I was given the pen challenge. I declined the challenge and instead sold them on how obnoxious their demand was. Idiots gave me the job. I declined that as well. Were you interviewing Robert California? You want to see a magic trick? Only if I don't need to participate in it. This guy saw Batman. Well, I saw Get Hard, so now your pen has been keistered. Probably going to make it hard to sell back to you. Let me guess, you want to make that pen disappear? Going to make my pen 15 disappear. Ta-da. And it's gone. Would you really hire somebody who charges you 50 quid for a pen that was already yours to begin with? 50 quid? Alright, 30 for you. Deal? That's how a guy got me to buy a camp trailer. He started the price out $3,000 over what I was wanting to pay, then before I knew it he was knocking the price down without me saying anything. I felt like the best negotiator for getting the price I wanted and was driving it home before I realized I paid exactly what he asked for it. But did he have dags? Edit, gold for this? Thanks, I guess. Low bar. Dags? Yeah, dogs. Did he have some? Oh, dogs, yeah, I like dogs. I like caravans more. E needs it fair as ma. Periwinkle blue. What am I supposed to know about caravans? I'm a boxing promoter, for God's sake. 2 minutes Turkish. It was periwinkle blue. Cup of tea for the big fella. And the boys get a part of the shows. This is literally how I sell anything privately. Ask for more than I want, and when the inevitable haggling begins, I have lots of wiggle room. And if someone doesn't haggle, better for me. In a lot of Middle Eastern and South Asian countries, when you're haggling, there's an unspoken rule that they'll settle for about half of what they ask for. In some West African markets you can't walk away from a negotiation, it's considered rude. You have to offer to pay a price that is so low that the seller says no. In hindsight, I was told this by our guide, which makes me think it's bullcrap. Because it effectively gives Al the power to the seller. I can get behind the logic here. Walking away without even an insultingly bad offer implies the person isn't worthy of doing business with you. At least giving them a bad offer to turn down keeps both parties on equal footing, since they're saying no to you as much as you're saying no to them. Oh no, a salesman thinks I'm rude, the horror. Lamau Yi, that's kind of like if a car salesman went on a car buying forum and said pay the price they ask for to save you and the dealer so time. I would still walk away if that was true, because I don't really care if someone I don't know thinks I'm rude. North America, on average, is maybe 70%? Guessing here. That's what I usually go to. I'm 30% above what I'm actually willing to let it go for when listing used stuff. If a person comes in with an offer below 50% of my listing, I don't even entertain it. I effing hate haggling. It is so stupid. I never haggle for anything on Facebook, selling or buying. I list it for what I will sell it for. I know it is a good price and so do you. You can ask once for a lower price and I will decline. You ask again and I will move on to the next guy. If I am buying something, I know what it is worth beforehand. If your price is good, I will offer you that price. If your price is high, you will never hear from me. Someone sold me a shirt I didn't even want like this. How much would you pay for this shirt? I don't want it. But if you did, how much do you think it's worth? I don't know, 20 lira, on a vacation in Sinai. 20. Feel it. This is high quality fabric, it's worth at least 100. Okay, makes sense I guess. I would only pay 20 though, because I don't actually want it. You're crazy, 20. Tell you what, I'll sell it for 60, that's my final offer. Nah, I don't really want it. I can't sell it to you for 20, that's less than I paid for it. Tell you what, 40, I'm selling it at cost. Look, I'm sure it's great quality, but I wouldn't pay more than 20 because I don't really want it. 20 again? Seriously, you're insulting me. Fine, you know what, 25, just take it. After all this haggling, I forgot that I didn't even want it. I bought it for 25, and never wore it. He definitely paid 3 lira for it. 3 lira? Are you trying to steal from my poor starving children? Look, I give you 2 and we call it quits, okay? 2 lira? It's basically trash. And no one wants trash. That's why you have to pay people to take away your trash. So how about you give me 1 lira and I'll take the shirt off your hands for you. I went to Turkey about 4 to 5 years ago, and my grandma was able to haggle with one of the merchants at Grand Bazaar. He sold a gilded bus for ballpark 200 lira. However, my grandma was able to get it for maybe 75 lira or so. He was calling her mama by the end of the deal, smiley face. He was calling her mama by the end of the deal. Well, yeah, sucking up to customers is a favorite tactic of sellers like this. He probably bought it for 7 lira. This is the only one I've seen in the thread I'd actually use if I was ever asked this. I did this once. I didn't take it seriously at all, since it was for selling advertising on the 8th ranked country station in a small liberal town. Instead of selling the guy a pen, I got him interested in buying a pontoon boat, as he mentioned having a base boat earlier in the interview. He was like, "Sell me this pen," and I said, "Why? Are you in the market for a pen right now? Is that a problem you're having a hard time solving yourself?" And then we started talking about free time and hobbies. It totally worked, and I don't know how, and I also didn't care because that job sucked. This made me laugh so hard because I had this sell me the pen question presented to me in an interview to sell ads on the local talk radio station that was by far the lowest ranked station in the region. I said something like, everybody wants to rely on their Palm Pilot to keep organized, but what if you drop it in the river? You're going to need to go anywhere. Compact, dependable pen as a backup. This was a very pontoon/base boat heavy area, so it seemed to really hit home. Everyone has dropped something in the river. Cheers to an oddly similar experience. That job sucked so badly. Any item you drop in the river is useless really. What you actually need is this fishing net, $200. I asked, "May I see it?" I then put it in my pocket. He asked for the pen back and I tried to charge him £10 for it. I didn't get the job or get to keep the pen. Can I get the pen back? What pen? Come on, Mr. Burns, I think we can trust the president of Cuba. It's full of what? But I mean, you did what they asked. I'm not sure how you're supposed to sell it if it isn't in your possession. You can't sell him something that he already owns. Still, I suppose you held it hostage more than put it up for sale. Considering that I can't sell things for crap, and wouldn't be applying to a sales position, so who knows why they would be asking, I'd probably point this out, telling them that I can't sell them something that they own and that I do not have the right to sell. It wouldn't be ethical, or legal. Hopefully, that would impress them. But sir, I applied to be a janitor. Look here, Sonny, sales isn't just a job, it's a way of life. Ends up selling drugs to students. The American dream. I could stick my head up the butcher's ass, but I'd rather just take the bull's word for it. Close attempt at quote. Damn it, Tommy. Shut up, Richard. Who's your favorite Little Rascals character? Alfalfa? Spanky? Fine, clean this pen, then. This pen has the antidote. Remember your coffee from before the interview? Which one? The one I switched with yours while you weren't looking? They were both poisoned. I spent the last few years building up an immunity to cocaine powder. You fell victim to a classic blunder. You fool. Ha ha. Hot eyes. Unexpectedly Princess Bride. The Princess Bride is never unexpected. The Spanish Inquisition once was, though. I love you all. The most famous being never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly less known as never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line. To what? The poison you just drank, Dr. Jones. During an interview for an electronic sales job, the interviewer asked me to take home a fairly expensive floor model of Blu-ray player and come back the next day with a sales pitch. It was very strange to put trust in me as he had just met me in the interview 5 minutes ago. I came back the next day with a bunch of product knowledge and landed the job. Worked there for several years, and oftentimes the boss would send us home with cool new electronics to try out, sometimes even keep. It was a rewarding place to work and also a great way to get product experienced sales staff. Ran out of business by Best Buy, unfortunately. Probably a bit of a test with that interview, and for the cost of that floor model, which was probably coming down soon, they could see if you were trustworthy enough to be left with merchandise. I'm sure not everyone came back the next day and just kept the borrowed player. Precisely. He was a genuine boss with some interesting methods. I'm going to reach out to him today and say hello after this post. I'm sure he's going to be thrilled to hear from Satan. I know from experience, Satan's a nice guy. For a moment I misread your name as Dare_Fuhrer. Same, I was like, well, he would know, I guess. Stood up and effed off out of there. It was a job for truck driving. What a vagina, edit. Thank you for the silver award, kind stranger. My first award, I am indeed honored. Right. I've been asked this question in warehouse and administrative work. If a job ad gives the faintest hint of sales being involved, I have absolutely no interest in it. Yet this question still gets used. I know where you are coming from. I think the guy interviewing thought he was being smart. I already had a job, so I could afford to be picky, and as soon as I heard his bullcrap I had enough. I don't think he saw it coming at all. Please tell me you at least stole his pen. Laughing out loud. It wasn't a very nice pen. I left him holding it. The look on his face was priceless, though. You sold his soul to the pen. It'll haunt him as he lays in bed late at night. He got rid of the gimmicky interview technique. Then the pen. But it's there, mocking, right as he's about to sleep. Sell me this pen. You effing idiot. It's bad enough that the whole concept of a job interview means that people get the job based upon their ability to market themselves to the interviewer, rather than by demonstrating skills actually relevant to the job. Why would somebody want to make it worse? Exactly. To put it in context, I've held a heavy goods license for 22 years. I showed my license and qualifications and a few nice written references. Not to mention driving trucks for most of those years in different operations, etc. No endorsements on a clean license. Then to be asked to sell him a pen. I had enough and decided right there and then I did not want to work for that man. I let my experience and qualifications and what I can bring to the job do the talking. I since changed my career by becoming a field service engineer and is going well. Just over a year now and I'm enjoying it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.